tariffs in the news. As usual, I remain your host, Ruth Esinam Fiegbedu. Joining me this morning on the news headline reviews, Ms. Debbie Adozo and Ms. Regina Blaise. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, so I guess we are far behind time, so we will just dive straight into our major news items for this morning. Right. NEDCO proposes 171% tariff hike to address revenue challenges. The Northern Electricity Distribution Company has submitted a proposal to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission seeking approval for a sharp increase in its distribution service charge. The request follows similar tariff proposals from the Electricity Company of Ghana, the Ghana Grid Company, and the Volta River Authority. NEDCO is asking for a tariff of 153.3 Ghana pesos per kilowatt per hour for 2025, up from the current 56,474 pesos, representing a 171% rise. According to the utility company, its operational area is geographically vast with a sparse customer base and only 0.1% of customers on special load tariff, limiting its ability to generate sufficient revenue to cover fixed and variable costs. The company explained that its variable cost per unit for 2025 is projected at 67.10 pesos, while fixed costs are estimated at 85.92 pesos per unit, together adding up to the proposed charge. It further noted that most capital expenditure items, including network expansion, meters, and IT infrastructure, are forex dominated, creating additional financial strain. Speaking during a public hearing in Accra on Tuesday, September 9th, Mr. Idrisu, Director in charge of commercial at NEDCO, said, "We are proposing an increase of 171%. We expect that the new tariff that we are proposing will have an impact on our performance. Our collection rate will increase and distribution losses will improve from 31% to 21%. And that was coming from NEDCO. That is the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, and is asking the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission to approve a 171% increase in electricity distribution charges. If approved, tariffs will rise from 56,474 pesos per kilowatt per hour to 153.3 pesos in 2025. And they explained that its service area is very large but with few customers, making revenue collection very, very difficult for them. And most costs, which is network expansion, meters, IT systems, are dominated in foreign currency, increasing expenses. And they also mentioned that the hike will help reduce distribution losses from 31% to 21% and improve revenue collection as well. Ms. Debbie, do you think the 171% increase is fair to consumers, especially looking at the economy as of now?
When you were reading it, one thing came in my ear. If this proposal should be accepted, then we are there though. It means we are going to pay more than what we used to pay. And looking at what NEDCO is saying, it means they are suffering more loss than gain. Yes, they are actually let me say they are running in debt.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they also made mention in it that most of the currencies are being, it's like they are being transacted in foreign currencies. And we all know that if we want the CD to gain weight against this dollar, then we have to make good use of our Ghana cedis. But in this case, no. How can we be in Ghana and then be transacting businesses in other foreign currencies? It does not only affect the economy, but it affects we the individuals as well, and it's affecting these businesses too. And so I feel like they don't want the company to collapse. But a band is also and we have to pay it. This one, any option be, we have to pay it, and we will pay it if that is going to actually solve the problem. But one thing I would like them to also do is that, we have people who actually have these illegal connections. They do illegal connection.
Yeah.
Not only Netco, I think the Ghana Water Company Limited is also proposing an increase in tariff. So it means that all these people want to increase the amount in which we pay to consume their product. Let me say it, because the light you are consuming is actually, I will put it in a way that is a product from them we are consuming from. And so you cannot run a business and then run a loss. You're supposed to gain. Let's look at this. If Netco gain right now, it still goes back to the company, Ghana, because Netco is owned by Ghana, right? It's not owned by a private entity. It's owned by Ghana. It's a Ghana property. And so if they make gains, it goes back to the economy, and then it helps us. It helps all of us. And so I feel like the 1.71. It's in a
171%.
171%. Also, everybody. Then when it's happening like this, there will definitely be increase in prices of goods and services, because we consume electricity, we consume water, and those who produce this water also use electricity. They use it in checking the osmosis and all stuffs to check if the waters are properly, like, it's good for consumption. So they are going to increase it, and then it means that we the least consumers are the down, bread more, because they'll increase the prices, and it's going to affect everything. Everything. That the city to the dollar now are appreciating so now are increasing, then it means that we have a lot to do. So although we feel like the economy is stabilized, but the people, we are not feeling it. And so Netco, well, I wouldn't blame them that much, because they cannot sit down and watch their business collapse. But it will also affect us. A burden, but if it is approved, and I will see it into so, because we cannot allow it to collapse, and we cannot allow it to be sold. I think some ECG has now been sold.
Please, no. I've not heard of that.
Or which company? Okay, there is actually a company that has been sold out, because now it means some year. Yes, it has been taken by like a private company. I'm sure it's not okay. I'll do my background check and come back.
I think I saw in the news that ECG has not been sold to any private company. Neither is the government considering of
selling it,
or even is it privatizing it, making it a private entity. They are not considering that. I think even President even made mention of that, and Mr. Janapo also said that as well. So I think I'm a bit lost with the kind of company he said is being sold. All right, Miss Regina, do you think this increase is actually going to lead people to indulge in illegal connection?
I think this is mainly for people, should I say, at the northern part of Ghana, because this really concerns them. They are already indulging in illegal connections at a stance, and increase in this would boost them to indulge in illegal connection. So I think, in as much as Netco, they are also facing their challenges. The only solution here is communication. You communicate with all the relevant stakeholders or all the relevant companies involved, and also talk to the people, consumers for that matter. Also communicate with them, because trust me, as Debbie said, a lot of these people, or a lot of us, are already struggling to even purchase mechanism, prepaid or light, to even purchase it. And some of these people are small business owners. So just imagine someone being a small business owner and what's out increasing this tariff. How then do they survive? So the only option some people will get is to either close their shops, or even if you are not being able to purchase or you are not able to settle your debt, at the end of the day, everybody will like to move, and that is also a disadvantage to these people. So this, as I said, in as much as they are facing their challenges, I think they need to communicate, else the illegal connection, it would be rampant. It's already on the rise, and so I think
yeah, so ECG has not been sold,
Right.
but it is in partnership with other private entities that will manage some aspects of it.
So not the entire.
No, not the
ECG.
entire ECG.
All right, thank you for that clarification. All right, moving on. Pressure mounts on GES to overhaul code of conduct after BEC malpractice scandal. Calls are intensifying for the Ghana Education Service to overhaul its code of conduct for teachers following a joint news investigation that exposed widespread cheating during this year's basic education certificate examination. The expose revealed shocking instances of teachers openly sharing money and examination answers with students inside exams halls. In some cases, students were allowed to smuggle mobile phones into exams rooms in exchange for as little as 60 Ghana cedis, sparking nationwide outrage and demands for urgent reform. The expose has triggered public outrage and calls for immediate action. Former GES Deputy Director General Dr. Kwabna Tando explained on PM Express that the current discipline system is heavily reliant on internal investigations. The West Africa Examination Council also stated that it has already taken punitive steps, including blacklisting teachers caught in malpractices. Stakeholders say reforming the GES Code of Conduct to include criminal liability is now crucial to curb malpractice and reduce credibility and restore credibility to Ghana's education system. So I don't know if within the week you saw the expose that has to do with some teachers sharing answers and even allowing some students to go into the exams hall with mobile phones during BEC. And now there's been pressure on GES to, criminalize this act so that when teachers are caught, they will be dealt with. And also, they said it's very crucial that they include a law into that. And some teachers have been blacklisted. Mr. B, what do you make of this? Teachers giving students the opportunity to cheat, and even to the extent of some teachers even sharing the answers for these students to cheat.
One is very sad, and two, it doesn't really speak well about us when it's in terms of education. It's paint this kind of picture that we cannot learn and then go to the exam hall, write and pass. We can only pass through our PO. And this is the kind of notion some of these students have. And so they feel like sitting down to learn is a waste of time. And that is why we have a lot of them flouting on social media, because they know that the D-Day they are going to pay. And they know perfectly well that the school in which they are writing is going to do something for them. So for instance, we have some schools where the head teacher meets invigilators, give them a token, say maybe 1,000 cedis, help my student. And aside that, the students will have to pay. And recently, they caught some invigilators and some students, and in the statement they were like, after they were done with the papers, you have to go and give the invigilator an asida offertory.
Yeah.
It's like
as little as 60 cedis.
60 cedis.
So you throw away your reputation and your credibility
everything
for just 60 cedis.
cedis.
Really?
For 60 cedis. And it tells us that we have a lot to do when it has to do with everything has to do with education, everything that has to do with examination and examination malpractice, because we are not doing our best. Every day we keep talking. Can you even imagine social studies? There is a portion where we learn examination malpractice. It is there. You will learn it. MIL, examination malpractice. You will learn it. But still now students will go to the exam hall and copy. Why? Because some of these head teachers are encouraging it. The teachers themselves are encouraging it. I remember those times my biology teacher, now the way he was doing, we were thinking that this one is going to give us paper. He told us that if we think he's going to give us something to write that day, we better learn and learn now. That kind of notion was in our head. It's you, yourself, and your God and your paper. But some of these teachers, it's because these teachers are not held accountable for what they do, and so it has paved a way for more people to do it. And I've heard some people saying that it's because teachers are not well paid. It's because some of them they've just employed them. The government is not paying them, and so when they are being taken as an invigilator, it's a means of getting something to because of 60 cedis, as you said.
Cedis.
4 years now with their course kunashio. Imagine your license is revoked, and with this I'm saying GES is actually taking a step towards that to revoke invigilators that have been caught teaching these students in exam halls. They revoke your license. It means you don't qualify to be a teacher. Just say are useless. I feel also imagine you are 40 years, 50 years. Also have a course school. Oh no. Examination malpractice.
Yeah.
You go to the universities right now.
Is there?
If you like, you just speak to some of the students. When they start to speak, you ask yourself, where's for your students? And some of them cannot even spell their name correctly. Some of them do not even know common phrase. They don't know. But 6 A's, A1's in chains. So how did they get it? And so when it has to do with examination malpractice, I feel like everyone is involved.
Yeah.
The teachers, the head teacher, even parents.
Even the students themselves.
The student themselves. And even some parents encourages it. Can you imagine a parent can buy a whole apple for the child to learn? You will still send phone. Where's your control? Apple is bad though. It's bad. My little advice to students: learn what you've been taught. If the apple can brush through, I bet once you get there and then down, because the apple you've been given is not what is on the paper.
It's not, yeah. And
so you better learn.
And it's very frustrating.
How do you feel as now when you learn no work on now ba seconds go immediately you saw the paper, like you start smiling. And once people are struggling, within 50 seconds or 20 minutes you are done. You submitted work because you've been sitting on that thing every day, sleepless night. Like there is this kind of pride and joy in you when you go to exam or you learn and then it appears. Even if the lecturer asks you, without looking on your paper, you can still defend what you've written. So till we start arresting some of these students, making them going back. In fact, your child will say, oh, copy. You will still go back to JHS 1 and then come back to JHS 3 and write BC or WASI.
Well, Ms. Regina, do you think blacklisting these invigilators who have been caught into the act alone is enough, or stricter laws should be laid down to jail these people?
From the little I know, I think there's a law that when you are being caught, you be jailed. And when was that? I think last week I saw on the news that some invigilators were jailed for 20 months. I don't know how true that is, if it's only for the media to see that they are really working or something. But I think blacklisting them alone is not a good or enough punishment for these people. I think it's high time the Ghana Education Service, WAEC, and Ministry of Education come together to pull out a stricter discipline measure for these people. Blacklisting, I don't think, involves you your license being cancelled or your license being taken away from you. When we take the doctors and nurses, for example, when you involve in a conduct that is against the laws or the ethics of that particular ministry. You can get to a point where your license can be taken away from you, and no matter wherever you pass, you can't go back to that profession. It's like you being deported from a country. No matter what, you can't go back to that country. No matter the kind of money, the kind of document you have or whatever, you can't go back. So I think they need to get a stricter discipline measure to make sure that more practices are being cancelled. And also, I think more practices shouldn't only boil down to these invigilators or teachers. The students are also part. You have 3 years. 3 years, I think, is enough time for you to learn whatever you want to learn. So why then do you take one particular day to make sure that your education comes to an end? And I think there's no punishment for students who are involved in more
there's
practices.
no punishment.
Yeah.
There is punishment. They
Are they
cancel your
jailed?
paper. No.
You can rewrite
You
it.
can write it of them.
But is that enough?
It's not enough. Because at the end of the day, you go back to YX, sit there, write it. So also be copy or be copy. So either you not write at all.
Yeah, Simo.
Yeah, no, so no. 4 years old.
Yeah.
You are like you've been fed by your parents. Not a back home. You can't go to school. Like you can't fed it. Hey. Well, when it's happening like that, it will instill this kind of fear and discipline in the students for them to do the right thing. Because you cannot sit down, as she said, 3 years. Oh, better now 1 week to 1 week to the paper in the washroom. I don't know, in the washroom you are holding book.
Yeah, I can now you, Baba.
When it's happening like that, like confusing, you will get the real big fee. But when you learn ahead of time, when the time is near, you just brush through. It's like you doing normal revision. But what now is 2 days to paper. But so bad. What's the air condition? I said, can I also write it?
No, it's hard. So on our last topic, I think it is about Galamsey, and we are just gonna go through it briefly, and then that'll be that. So Nanaya Jantua, a presidential staffer and head of Utility Review Hearing Committee, has warned that Ghana may soon be forced to import water if illegal mining, which is Galamsey, is not stopped. She explained that Galamsey is heavily polluting rivers and water bodies, making it very expensive for the Ghana Water Company to treat water. If the situation continues, Ghana could become water poor, meaning clean water will be scarce and very expensive right here in this country. She called on the media and society to unite and remove politics from the fight against Galamsey, since the poor will suffer most if water becomes unaffordable. They said the poor will suffer most if water becomes unaffordable right here in this country. Even if the poor will suffer most, even the rich people, even looking for that water safe will also be a problem. So everyone became
it won't be a problem. Now say on tonight. So obe free, so oye free da.
Oh, okay, I see.
At the slightest provocation of a rising issue, they're out of the country. So you will suffer the most. So she's right.
Okay. So have we gotten to that point as a country that very soon will be importing water? Oh.
You trap it all. I've learned it from producer. You trap it all. Seriously. I feel like it's because we don't live closer to communities that there is a surge of illegal mining, and that is why we feel like we've not gotten closer to the deadline. But I would say that we've even surpassed that of we importing water. Very soon. I'm just praying that by the time that we will be in that, how many Ghana?
You want to leave?
Like say for who? They also leave.
You want to leave and leave us here? Anyway,
I'll put it in my bag.
I'll take the lead. You come and meet me there.
I want to leave. And back to what she said,
yes.
It's very serious.
It's very serious.
We
it's
have to take illegal mining very, very seriously. And it's very sad when you see people in those communities hitting so hard on their chest with this kind of pride that they won't stop. No, I am Mr. Simon Mobile because you will suffer more. You are closer to the water. You drink more of the river water than pure water than we here. And even we here, the pure water and yes say, but at least it has been filtered. Chemicals can craft him. And you know, it won't really harm us that hard that you in the community. Into illegal mining, see me a year king. See, it will be very sad if a year by this time. Last month, right, we lost 8 gallant men.
Gentlemen.
It will be very sad if next year, August, was it Seed August?
Yes.
Seed August.
Yeah, I think.
After
I'm not mistaken.
na Galamsey and Sovia, then I'll see that we are not serious as a nation.
We are not serious as a nation.
Yes.
Right. Miss Virginia, briefly.
Yeah, so as Debbie said, I think we've already passed that level because Galamsey has already destroyed our water bodies, and I think we need to get ready, and especially to the poor people. We need to find solutions because these rich people are already importing water. Some people don't drink the local waters made here. Some people drink imported waters. So I think to how is it said? We should cry our own cry because these politicians, people in high positions, do not really regard us. They don't have our interest at heart. Because if they do, even what, as Debbie said, what happened on 6th August should have been a deterrent for these people to make sure that Galamsey is being kept or stopped or eradicated. But we should cry our own cry and find ways and means we can import water. Or better still, in your backyard, do to me too from.
It's sad. I think this is where we've gotten to as a country, that if care is not taken, she's urging the media and the society that let's put politics aside and face Galamsey boat for boat, or else very soon we'll be importing water. And this is where we bring a close to the news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matters to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. Ranking Member on Parliament Defense and Interior Committee, Reverend John Intim Fojo, has taken a swipe at President Mahama over what he describes as the sharp deterioration of Ghana's peace and security under the current administration. In a social media post, the Asin South Member of Parliament urged the President to prioritize restoring safety in the country rather than unleashing state power on political opponents. His comments followed the recent arrest of the New Patriotic Party's Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo, known as Abronye, who has been charged with misdemeanor by the police. President Mahama, Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and Chairman of the National Security Council, for what it is worth, the deterioration of Ghana's peace, safety, and security under your watch in less than a year must rather be your utmost concern, rather than going hard after your political opponent. Stop killing ants with sledgehammer and fix our security. Exacting maximum force of state security apparatus on opposition activities for the least infraction is a misplaced priority. Mr. Intim Fojo. I think by now you should bow down your head in shame. Because if we are talking about insecurity and then a temper with the peace of the citizen, I think we should be pointing a finger at the New Patriotic Party. We didn't rest. We didn't rest in this country. We saw how people were arrested. Didn't we see that? We saw how people were silenced not to talk about issues that matters to the government. Not to even point finger at the wrong side of your government. We saw it. We saw how everybody was silenced. And as we continue to preach and then sing a song about democracy, We didn't see that during your administration. We saw how people were arrested if they speak ill about your government. Everybody. So during your time, people were even cautious to talk. When people go on demonstration, they were arrested. But you people have been preaching about democracy. You kept on saying that you are supposed to voice out. No one must infringe on your right. And voicing out your concern is also your right. But when things were going bad, when the cedi to the dollar was skyrocketed, we couldn't speak. When we were paying users tax, when people kept increasing taxes on goods, taxes on staffs, we couldn't talk. We were mute. When police were attacking media personnel and journalists, we couldn't talk. We were mute. And today you had the confidence to say that under this current administration there is no peace. Really? There is no peace. And so President Mahama should not focus on arresting people. Would President Mahama comes after you when you do the right thing? Was it President Mahama who went in to arrest Abronye, or it was Iyoko? Did we see President Mahama with a handcuff arresting someone in this country? We have the laws. And when you don't speak against it, you won't be taken by the law. But when you go against what is stated in the law, you will be taken. Because you are not doing the right thing. And we all know Abronye. We know what Abronye has been doing in this country. We know how he talk. He runs his mouth like a tap. We've seen it. And because then time, your government was in power. Because when we speak, you will come after us. And now the same person is telling us not to call a spade a spade. Wow. This is surprising, trust me. It is very, very surprising. See, we are not trying to do politics here. But if we should talk about a president that comes into power, or a government that comes into power and there is peace, and everybody can speak their mind, it has to do with this current administration here. Your time, we couldn't talk. We saw how people, armed men, thugs of your party moved into stations, beat people, and then you don't speak about it. You kept on shifting blames. And then now you sit in the comfort zone of your home and then you tell us that there is no peace in this country. Maybe you might actually associate that to the conflict that is going on. But with the Boko conflict, it started way back. It was even rampant during your time. As for the conflict, we would say that it is something that actually came as a shock, to the extent that we have some Ghanaians being refugees in other countries. And that we need to work towards that. If you are talking about that, I will bear with you. But if you sit at your comfort zone and tell me that since this government came into power, it's not even up to 1 year and there is no peace, and our security has been drained, then you are lying, please. With all due respect, you are lying. This is a big lie. It is this time that people, I would say it is this time that people actually feel comfortable to talk. It is only in Ghana that you go on demonstration and at the end you'll be arrested. We were mute. We saw how letters were signed into offices to take people off their position because they were speaking against your government. And then you see that, then you tell me that during this current administration there is no peace. Wow. I think I should be clapping for you. Seriously. Abronye, because they've taken Abronye. And then you sit at your comfort zone and then you back Abronye, knowing fully well of what he's saying. See, if you are being given power in this country, we respect you. I'm not downgrading the position of everybody, anybody, sorry, but even an assemblyman is called honorable. It's because we have this kind of respect for you, regardless of the kind of position, whether it's little, whether it's huge, so long as we notice you to hold position in government, we give you that cordial respect. But some of you leaders do not see it as such. You don't see that position given to you as something that you need to value. As a leader, you need to watch your utterances. It's very key, because you don't know. Maybe Abronye don't know. A time will come, maybe he will also want to become a president. Who knows? He wants to hold big opposition. And you think we will vote for somebody who runs his mouth like a tap? No. No. And as I said, the law is there. And no one is above the law. No one is above the law. Abronye has been picked by Iyoko. Investigations are ongoing. He has been remanded. And then you come out saying that the way President Mahama is coming after the opponent, speaking against the opponent, it tells a lot. It's a threat to the security. It's a threat to the MPP, not a threat to Ghanaians. So if you are stating this, I think you should be clear about it. It's a threat to your party, not to Ghanaians. I don't know why we want to politicize like every little thing. You know what Abronye has been doing. Into Wesumen Sanka. Come on. It's sad though. It's sad. Iyoko has gone to pick Abronye. Investigation back out here. We've not even per what he has done. Iyoko has not even come out to say that maybe per what he has done he will be arrested or not. He has been remanded and investigation are still ongoing. I was thinking we will all keep quiet and shut up till they are done with the investigation. Then we will know whether he's guilty or not. Not that during this current administration there is no peace, and it's a threat to the peace of the country, it's a threat to the democracy, we cannot talk, the security. Massa, I beg. We've seen worse during the previous administration. So please, to the opposition, the micro minority, right? I believe that there is a lot to do. There is a lot to do. It's not everything you will have to be saying about it. And even with Mr. and Tim Fojo, you've already made some statements. I don't cry. I want some more and cry. If you talk about something, with all due respect, with your integrity and everything, it shouldn't be with Abronye. Thank you for making time with me.
Today in history is Miss Regina Bless.
Today in history, 1974, Portugal formally recognized Guinea-Bissau's independence. Following the Carnation Revolution in Portugal and the country's unilateral declaration of independence in 1973, after a protracted armed struggle against colonial rule, the recognition marked the end of 5 centuries of Portuguese colonial rule over the West African territory. 1960, Abiba Bikila won the Olympic marathon barefoot on September 10th at the Summer Olympics in Rome. His victory was a landmark moment, making him the first black African athlete to win an Olympic gold medal and setting a world record. 1874 saw the opening of the first Good Templars Hall in South Africa. Good Templars, or formerly the International Organization of Good Templars, was a global temperance movement that spread widely in the 19th century. They promoted abstinence from alcohol and set up meeting halls for lectures, gatherings, and community events. The opening of that first hall in South Africa marked the growth of organized temperance activism on the continent. 1919, the Treaty of St. Germain, signed by Austria and the Allied Powers on this day, formally dissolved the Austro-Hungarian Empire and established the Republic of Austria. Under the treaty, this country was significantly reduced in size, losing territory to newly formed nations like Yugoslavia, and was forbidden from uniting with Germany without the League of Nations consent. Looking at some observances. World Suicide Prevention Day, marked each year as recognized by the International Association for Suicide Prevention in conjunction with the World Health Organization. The purpose of this day is to raise awareness around the globe that suicide can be prevented. National Swap Ideas Day is an annual observance. The day encourages people to share a creative or helpful idea with someone else and receive their thoughts in return. The purpose is to foster collaboration, innovation, and collective thinking, which can lead to improved concepts, new perspectives, or revolutionary inventions. Lastly, International Makeup Day. The day aims to celebrate beauty, creativity, and self-expression through the art of makeup. Beauty enthusiasts, makeup artists, and brands on this day come together to share tips and explore new trends. And that's all for today on Today in History and some observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Today is World Suicide Day. Life is not that hard. Please be happy. Don't go and kill yourself. Get someone to talk to. You'll be fine. Today is Makeup Day as well. Please go out looking nice. It's not only makeup products that will make you look nice. Wear a smile. Okay. All right. And this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be coming up with the news. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, Gold Board to start local gold refining in October. When you're marking, donate 103,000 to Volta student. Pokwasi leaders outrage over major shooting incident during Homowa celebrations. Western Region Fire Spark Probe. Call from Minister Joseph Nelson. Government urged to enhance Volta region infrastructure for sustainable development. These and many more coming up your way shortly. The Ghana Gold Board will begin refining gold locally from October 2025 as part of a new partnership with the Bank of Ghana and local refineries. The Chief Executive Officer of the Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, made this announcement during the first Mining and Minerals Convention held in Accra on Tuesday, September 9th. He said the decision is part of a broader effort to boost value addition in the gold sector and improve Ghana's economic resilience. As part of the reset agenda of President Mahama, the Gold Board, in conjunction with the Bank of Ghana, is partnering with local refineries such as the Gold Coast Refinery to begin the local refining of gold purchased and exported by the Gold Board, and this will begin next month, October 2025.
It is a national shame that as a long-standing continental leader in gold production, Ghana continues to export dory, that is raw gold, instead of bullion. The Ghana Gold Board, which I lead, is determined to change this narrative as a matter of urgency. As part of the reset agenda of President Mahama, the Gold Board, in conjunction with the Bank of Ghana, is partnering local refineries such as the Gold Coast Refinery to begin the local refining of gold purchased and exported by the Gold Board. And this will begin next month, October 2025. Let me at this stage commend the Chamber of Mines for expressing their willingness to work with us to ensure the local refining of gold produced by large-scale mining firms in the country. The Gold Board will continue to drive innovation. And in this regard, ladies and gentlemen, we have secured a parcel of land at the cargo village at the Kotoka International Airport to build an ultramodern ISO-certified assay laboratory with the aim of changing Ghana's assay regime from SRF and water density to the golden standard of assay, fire assay, for all gold, both small scale and large scale, produced in or exported from Ghana. I am happy to inform you that on that same parcel of land secured by the Gold Board, we will be building a wholly state-owned and international standard gold refinery to further advance the local refining of gold, transitioning Ghana from the export of dory to bullion. Plans are also underway, ladies and gentlemen, to develop strategic partnerships to establish a gold village in the nature of the gold souk of Dubai in Ghana, envisaged as a continental hub for gold jewelry and ornament production. But, brothers and sisters, this dream will elude us without a critical partnership of financial institutions for value-adding investments, particularly in the area of refining, minting, and the fabrication.
Minority Leader in Parliament, Apenyo Makin, has made a significant gesture of support by presenting 103,000 to 33 members of the Volta Students Association at the University of Ghana. This contribution aims to help these students settle their academic fees, providing much needed financial relief. He highlighted on the need of education support in the country, with leaders and organizations contributing to make higher education more accessible.
So young men and women, 33 of you, I just want you to know that I'm offering a helping hand. Take advantage of it. Learn, build capacity, and move on. Life has never been easy. It is rough. But with your determination, your faith in God, trust me, no danger can ensue. And that is why Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote in his book, Weep Not Child, said, weep not my darling, with these cases let me remove your tears. The ravening clouds shall not long possess the skies, they shall not long be victorious. So have that at the back of your mind. We've seen life a bit, so when people talk about poverty, I know what it is. And then when I was at UCC, Casford Hall, you know, some of our colleagues who were really coming from very difficult homes, some could eat once every 2 days. I saw it with my physical eyes, and it was not easy. I found my way to Buckingham University, and when in very difficult times you would have to go and work. In fact, from Buckingham to Brackleyfield, there was a time that I had no money at all. My fees, I had to work, you know, go and do this the care home, the old age home. And throughout the night you will not sleep. You have to stay awake and take care of those old ladies. Then you can be earning your £7 an hour and all.
That was from the minority leader Alexander Penyumakin. Traditional leaders of Pokwasi are calling for justice following a tragic shooting incident at the Omanjo Homowo Festival, resulting in the deaths of 3 people, leaving 4 others critically injured. The incident has sparked outrage and raised concerns about security and violence in the area. The shooting occurred on August 30th during the Homowo Festival celebrations in Omanjo. As a result, several others were injured, with some still receiving treatment at Ridge and Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The traditional leaders are demanding swift action from authorities to bring perpetrators to justice.
The Ghana Police Service must, without delay, conduct a transparent and thorough investigation into this incident, arrest all perpetrators, and bring them to justice. 2. The Ghana Traditional Council must rise to its responsibility of ensuring harmony among its members' council and issue a firm condemnation of the violence. The Ghana Municipal Assembly must take concrete steps to guarantee the safety of residents, particularly during festivals, and prevent any recurrence. The government of Ghana must ensure that no state institution, operatives, or official provide cover or support for criminal acts. If the allegations concerning national security complicity prove true, swift actions must follow. We wish to make it abundantly clear the people of Pokwase will not tolerate further. The people of Pokwase Jama and Pokwase will not tolerate further attack, intimidation, or the shedding of innocent blood. Our patient must not be taken for weakness. We call on the state and all stakeholders to act swift to avert further escalations, as any repetition of such violence will provoke unavailable response from our community.
The Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson is calling for an investigation into a devastating fire that destroyed a church and approximately 50 makeshift homes in the western region of Ghana. This incident is alarming as it's reportedly the third major fire to occur on the same day, raising concerns about safety and potential patterns behind these fires. Minister Nelson calls for an investigation to address the root causes of this devastating incident.
But then when they do get the calls, they're able to also respond effectively in good time so that we're able to minimize the losses. And then finally, I think that the metro itself, the assembly must also see how they deal with the issues surrounding this place. All the issues we've heard about, those here, what they do, and all the things that happen here. I think that the metro must take charge. I don't know whether we have officers here. You are here. You know about this place. So, from the information we've just received, this is about the second time that we've had such incident. It shouldn't happen again. And I think that those who are here, this place should be properly managed. Okay, this place? What is it meant for? Is it for railways? Is it for the assembly? I think that we need to put this place to some good use. If these structures are not supposed to be here, then we must be firm that we take them out of here and get this place properly organized so that we're able to avert, similar incident happening in the future. Now, not more. The after effect, the people who have been affected, I think that we also have to look at their welfare. Where are they? What is happening to them? What can we do to help? Regardless of where they come from, really, they are human beings first and foremost. Before we even get into where they come from and all the rest of them, I think that we must look at them as people who have been affected by this unfortunate incident, see what reliefs we can give them, so that as we look at resolving the issues here in the long term. So, thank you very much, officers, all of you who came around.
Kwame Boafo, known as Abronye, has been remanded into police custody and is expected to reappear in court on Friday, September 12. The Ghana Police Service confirmed his arrest on Monday, September 8th, citing offensive conduct conducive to the breach of public peace. He was taken into custody earlier that day and remains in detention. Although the police have not disclosed full details of the conduct that led to his arrest, the case has attracted national attention due to Abronye's political profile. He currently serves as the Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party and is known for his outspoken political commentary. His arrest follows a series of recent developments, including his filing for political asylum in 8 countries: the United States, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Canada, Spain, Germany, and Cote d'Ivoire. In his application, Abronye alleged political persecution and threat to his life, accusing the government of misusing state security agencies for political gain. As part of investigations, police also reportedly searched the home of former MPP youth organizer Moses Abo on Sunday, but Abronye was not found at the time. The case is set to continue on Friday as the court hears the charges and determines the next steps. Reacting to his arrest, Abronye's lawyer Daniel Mateado expressed shock at the decision, arguing that the charges against his client is not an offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace, which should not warrant remand, but portray his trust in the judiciary.
At least as it stands, I'm a bit okay because I've been able to get to know the whereabouts of my client. I think you cannot see the stress on my face. For once, we are seeing that legal proceedings are being complied with, and then the legal processes are being complied with. The accused person, or the suspect, now accused person, was arraigned before the court, and it appears the prosecution would just want him to be remanded. For whatever reason, you gave us an invite, We have responded to the invite, and the charges leveled against my client in court were just misdemeanors. They were just misdemeanors. And in law, you would know that, there are categories of offenses. Misdemeanor is the basic one, and that shouldn't be the basis why an accused person should be remanded. But trust me, when it comes to the judiciary, I respect the judiciary so much, particularly this court. I have never had an issue in this court. Whatever my lord says is final. The law lies in the bosom of the judge. He has given a ruling that my client should be remanded into custody and brought back to court on the 12th of September. What do we have to do? We will just wait until the 12th of September and then return back to court. But I'm very positive that, the law will take its course. Particularly for this court, I am very, very much certain that the law will take its course.
The Volta region is being touted as a potential tourism powerhouse, with calls for the government to enhance infrastructure to unlock its economic growth potentials. The region boasts an impressive 120 tourist sites, including breathtaking natural attractions like the Blue Waterfalls, the highest in the West Africa, and the serene Lake Volta. Part of the Volta Economic Corridor project aimed to develop tourism clusters and hospitality hubs around Volta Lake to drive economic growth through tourism and service-oriented investment. Launched by Tourism Minister Jifa Blagomashi to position the Volta region as a leading tourist destination, highlighting its rich cultural heritage and diverse natural landscapes, the good people of Ghana are calling on the government to improve their roads, airports and utilities to catalyze private sector confidence and attract investment.
Tourism, Ghana might also be very quiet. When you say, tourism areas and now localities are tourist sites, ever hono. To many Jumaye, Biani say a bar, a major high in Okada riders, Eddie up and down. Local economy, ton provisions in Yanina, the Omuna Benya Kakrefim. Into tourism, a boy di Ghana mine de Bibriqua. A Tosumi and Nusune say, tourist sites Nakasansuno, Enya Sika, Edi Ghana mine, Yabana Sekasi da, local hotels, motels, restaurant, or Hanina, Sumenya Faso. So, Brofumokan cascading effect. There is this huge cascading effect about tourism. So, Emma Ghana mine be bree. A bois or mine and Kasa Sikasemu and a bois and Crankreduma Susikasemu. Ghana, a bino ruler also play a bree. A binise was set or OCC Yakwine from Accra, Baby a tourist site war from Kumasi, from Tamale, baby a tourist site will be an was set or plan 80 mida who ye come as a bear a month for a qua share tourist site ya when you bet you
and you may a bar. I'm a dropper Hasino to say come up. I'm the first time I throw canopy walk on, but challenge Kakribia and what want to say a quino. It is a bear. I buy more a crana, a quino, a quina, a call your tourist sites be brino. Yeah, have so many in the camera because men Canada. No man at war a Hitanio man at Shesha Hanefe. Tourist sites never Hanefe, Panya Hankwa, but across the country on the air, but be brinana and a quino. What's the complaints now? By many who say yes, a coronation amwa.
They're estimating the tourism sites in Ghana. May catch will be I say when they have time. If some person will call come me out to soon kakaka music or then they come. Some continue but you can come in groups. Nina is acceptable. And here Mayana mostly preventive from going to tourism in tourist sites in Ghana. A bit to say bad roads. And a quaning yet. Today we also had an encounter. Here Banos your bus need to me it's a restaurant by to promote tourism in Ghana. Among constructed tourist sites, no, the area that it is no, among constructed good roads and my.
It means Eba December, unse for free a chiba. Na ye to your mind, yen tourism home for so. Will be away tourism in for so. Into Yasra buying say, among structures into place. Our main improving tourism. A banning a choir for so visit the tourist site. So, why not motivate you this umbrella? And this attraction in so I saw Mama Papa maintenance in it could be a whole has been created for the past centuries. 50 years, 60 years, but the area is city into omo the proper structure city place now. Omo improve this place. Be attractive ama. Yeah, you wo hono. The be cost wa kona wo omo ichiri no. Omo sabana. Omo ma hanu mai krabeshe.
In business, Canadian multinational conglomerate Rectron Group Incorporated has reaffirmed its intention to acquire a controlling 60% equity stake in Eto Tigo Ghana Limited for $150 million, unveiling what it describes as a comprehensive and independently validated blueprint to save the financially distressed telecom operators. The announcement, retreated by Rectron Chief Executive Officer Atanas, positions the group as a strategic investor Ghana has been seeking to rescue Eto Tigo Ghana, a company burdened with over 150 million debt and struggling to maintain its market relevance. Rectron's 150 million represent the initial offer to acquire the proposed 60% equity stake, with additional capital plan for injection into Eto Tigo following the completion of this initial funding. According to Mr. Kolarov, Rectron's plan is not a speculative initiative, but a meticulously structured, financially robust and independently validated blueprint for the immediate stabilization and long-term renewal of one of Ghana's most strategic national assets. The proposal is anchored in the Memorandum of Understanding signed with the Government of Ghana on May 21st, which envisioned the entry of a well-resourced strategic partner capable of providing both practical and technical know-how. Unlike interim regulatory measures put in place by the Ministry of Communications to shield subscribers from service disruption, Rectron argued that its approach addresses the root causes of Eto Tigo Ghana's decline rather than just the symptoms. The most urgent issue has been Eto Tigo's mounting debt. Rectron confirmed that it has opened constructive negotiations with creditors, securing a broad understanding for a lenient restructuring plan. This effectively addresses the primary barrier to the company's survival. Rectron has drawn up financial arrangements to deliver a $150 million capital injection through a mix of cash, credit lines and guarantees. According to the group, this provides financial certainty and eliminates the uncertainties typically associated with prolonged merger processes. The immediate deployment of funds will allow Eto Tigo to shore up critical areas in infrastructure expansion, service quality improvement, and operational debt clearance. One of Rectron's strongest assurance is its commitment to Eto Tigo's workforce. The CEO stressed that the company will retain all full-time and contractual staff while also creating new opportunities as operations expand. Rectron plans to work closely with local partners, including Afritel Ghana Limited and KNet Ghana, to ensure that employees are not only retained but also empowered through new training, skill development and exposure to global best practices. The initiative is expected to expand digital access across the country, reduce the cost of mobile data, and elevate service quality in line with Ghana's digital transformation agenda. This validation, Rectron argued, underscored the compelling nature of its vision for Ghana's digital future. The Canadian group also took a subtle swipe at competing scenarios, those involving potential linkages between Eto Tigo and other industry players such as Telecel. Rectron cautioned that such options carry formidable challenges, deeper integration complexities, incompatible pitfalls and structural inefficiencies. Instead, Rectron described its proposal as focused, pragmatic and actionable, offering Ghana a pathway to digital independence and long-term telecom sector stability. A critical part of Rectron's plan is to combine its global capital and expertise with deep local knowledge. The group highlighted its partnership with Afritel Ghana, led by Venturan telecom entrepreneur Nana Richard Agri, and with Richard, founder of KNet, a state-of-the-art satellite teleport and network solutions provider. In sports, South African football team head coach has indicated that his team draw with Nigeria was a fair reflection of the heated contest since neither team deserved to win the game. He said this in his post-game press after South Africa earned an extra point to inch closer to qualifying to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. William Trust's own goal in the 25th minute and Calvin Bassey header in the 44th minute settled the very scrappy game that was played out on a poor pitch at the Toyota Stadium. Nigerian played the game without injured striker, but got a controversial equalizer as the ball clearly struck Bassey's arm off his head before entering the net. Speaking in a post-game presser, he acknowledged the physicality both nations played and was quite satisfied with the result. We knew in the second half that we could not win the game by playing football, but by fighting. That is why we tried to fight. We were as much physical as our opponents, and I think that result is the right result. None of the two teams deserve to win, he said. South Africa lead Group C with 17 points, whilst Nigerians have 11 points. In showbiz, Ghanaian-American filmmaker Leila Jensi has cautioned filmmakers against using YouTube as a primary platform for distributing their works, describing it as unproductive and unreliable business option. In an interview, Kwame Dazi and Doreen Avio, she said filmmakers should explore more viable channels rather than hinge their financial hopes on the streaming site. Personally, I don't believe the film fund. I think it is premature. People think that we are just going to put it on YouTube. I'm sorry, because it will collapse very soon. JC argued that government-backed film fund will be wasted if movies were simply released on YouTube. She further noted the lack of qualified film crew in Ghana and announced that she is organizing the film crew networking fixture at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park on Sunday 24th September at 6:30 p.m. The event, she said, will provide a platform for professionals across the film value chain to connect and collaborate. And that is how we end it on the morning news broadcast. As usual, do all to log on to our streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more trending news stories. I am Deborah Dawes, so thank you so much for making time with me. Do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
GhanaTalks Radio a ɛwɔ UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system mechire spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha enti se we ye ayie we ye engagement we ye wedding we ye birthday party political parties are moye rally se moye asori a moye crusade So wo bo carnival or any kind of event. Now wo pe spinning machine papa a bo sound no mu e de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds e de emawo. Ye wo live band nso a wo to nsa e de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wo dwumedi a wo die nso atimi aye kama pa. Ye wo enkan poponi mantemo anya aponchi hotel e ho pepepe e na ye butuo wo dia ne se wo be frɛ empanifo e wo 0546 960510 GTR sounds emu de angaza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.